Hello, socialites, and welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast where we study being social by being social. Still on tour, got some shows coming up. The shows have been nutso whatso, by the way, everybody. Denver, bro, I don't know what's in the water over there, but y'all get sprung for the day. Like that like blew my mind. You guys were just such incredible audiences, and thank you from the bottom of my butt. I say that because it's bigger than my heart, so I feel like it means more. Coming up, we're gonna be in Edmonton, Bremerton, Everett, Seattle, Oklahoma City, New York City. Today's guest is gonna be on those shows in New York City, Buffalo, rounded out in Philadelphia. Fall tour announcements coming out soon. Watch this episode on YouTube if you prefer to do podcasting via your eyes rather than your ears. I got a hell of a guest for you today. This guy and I crossed paths on the internet, I don't know, a few years ago now. Funny ass dude. Has cracked me up on the internet for a while. But this month, it takes a lot. When you're I don't know if you guys are like me. When you're watching the internet and you're scrolling through videos and you're laughing, but sound doesn't come, like if someone looked at you, you'd look like you're just sitting there taking a shit. I'm scrolling through this guy's videos lately, and I'm dying to the point where Morgan had to turn around and be like, "What is wrong?" I'm like, "I'm so sorry. These videos are hilarious." We're going to get into it. No further explanation. Follow him on Instagram now. Press pause. Go follow Stand Up Randazzo on Instagram and the Tickety Talk and all of the things. Give it up for my buddy Gaspare Randazzo. Gaspare! What's up?
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Well, I mean, no one's going to answer that question unless you're in your car. You're just talking to yourself. But how are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. Dude, literally, this thick-ass New York accent always makes my day.
My accent, this is just, it's a nighttime accent because it's really late in New York right now. So it comes out more at night as I start getting tired. I said that by accident. I actually say tired when I'm talking in the real world.
Yeah, is that right? I bet you
I heard.
So thank you. First of all, thanks for staying up late. I know it's late on the East Coast.
No, that's all right.
You put the kids to bed? How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids. They go to bed at 7:30, but they wake, which is great because they still have like the rest of the night, but they wake up at 5:30 every day religiously. Doesn't matter. Weekend, holiday, school day, any day of the week, 5:30, they are up, wide awake, ready to go. My son walked in my room at 4:00 yesterday to surprise me, to tell me that he forgot to brush his teeth 3 days ago. That's real life. And then I said, it's okay. We don't need to brush them right now. We went back in his room and then he said, Dad, what color do you think dinosaurs were? I said, this is not a 4:00 in the morning conversation, baby. And then he said, Dad, do you wear your glasses when you eat chips? And I said, I don't even understand that question because I don't wear glasses. So he was just in a delusional state. And
wait, you never wear glasses?
Well, I realized during COVID that I couldn't see, but I never knew that. I just thought things looked blurry. Then I went to this thing like a doctor. I don't go to the doctor. So I went to a doctor for eyes and he told me, he was like, yeah, you can't see. So I wear glasses when I sit in my house, but not for anything else because I don't want anyone to see me in them.
I also love that we call an optometrist a doctor for eyes.
The doctor for eye. Well, no, because I couldn't remember if it was ophthalmologist or optometrist or whatever you said.
Optometrist. Blake, can you look it up? It's optometrist.
One of them does the puff in your eyes to give you glasses. Yeah. The other one checks your eyes.
I'm just going to say this. I know it's not a proctologist.
No, I've met those too.
It's not one of those. Okay.
Unless listen. I don't know which way we're going with this podcast, but we can talk about that too.
Well, okay. First of all, hold the phone.
You get the cookie.
You're so fucking New York, Gaspare. Like, I love that you can keep up with me because my brain works like you and I'm just fucking talking and you got to be able to handle it.
No, I'm with it. We could go proctologist, whatever.
Listen. But your kids wake you up at 4:00 in the morning, and you're a high school teacher, which means you have to be at work hella early. Like you go to work before we would go to work as elementary teachers.
Depends how much you care. I get there when I get there. I'm never late. I've never been late for anything in my life. But I don't get there super early. And the only reason
What
is because
time are
my
we
kid's
talking?
school. I leave my house at 6:50.
That's
But
early.
no,
Leaving
no,
your
no, but
house
that's
at
not early.
6:50, that means you have to be awake by 6 at the latest.
Yeah, yeah, 6 o'clock. But then what I do is, but then I have to take my kids to school. So my kids' school is down the block. So at 6:50, where everyone's lined up, I'm putting shoes on. We're in the car. We're driving. They're at the door at 6:58. 7 o'clock, the school opens the door. I dump my kids on the steps and I drive away. I mean, it's
Wow.
not that like, aggressive. I take care of them.
You're
But
okay. Where do you okay? Do your kids go to New York public schools?
well, my kids are in they're little still. So
Oh,
they're in my
like a
daughter's
preschool.
in daycare and my son is in pre-K 4, which
Oh,
is like pre-K. I don't know.
all right, all right.
Pre-kindergarten.
And you teaching? What do you guys call those? You don't say New York public schools. You call it something.
High school.
No, well, yeah, but you call it.
New York school. I don't know.
No, oh
School?
God, I have whenever my fans talk about like the New York public school system, it's
Okay.
they like don't call it that. They have like this other phrase for it.
Oh, like maybe the Board of Ed?
No, shit, I don't
Uh,
know.
the
Someone's gonna
Department
roast
of
our
Ed?
ass. No, someone's gonna roast our ass. Someone's gonna tell me shit. I forget what they say. Oh well.
Well,
Anyway, you have an interesting job.
thank
Can we
you.
talk about it?
To a degree.
Okay, then why don't you just take it away so I don't get us in trouble?
No, well, so I I teach kids
Difficult children. Yeah,
global history.
there we go.
Some of my students are a little difficult sometimes, like most students. I also,
Is
due
this
to
being
my
on this podcast gonna get you fired?
no, well, I mean, if it is, I'm just gonna have to. You're gonna have to give me a job. I'm gonna have to
Okay,
respond.
okay. You'll come on the road with me for a few
I'll have
shows.
to come on the road with you. No, no. In the past, well, we could say that. In the past, I used to teach some really rough kids,
Okay.
right? And in the past, I've taught rough kids, a lot of kids who might have just gotten out of incarceration or on their way to incarceration, different phases of life in New York life.
Mm.
Not that everybody in New York goes that route, but just different phases of life. And yeah, and I just teach them social studies. Do they like me? No. Do they hate me? No. I'm in the middle. Sometimes, I have classes that have two kids in them, which is great. I don't know how PG this podcast is.
Not very.
So, very or not
Not
very?
not very.
Okay,
I already said
perfect.
fuck like twice.
No, I'm not talking about the F word, but okay, we could. But
Okay.
but yeah, like I teach kids like there's two kids in the room, right? It's just me and the two kids. Sometimes one kid's absent. It's just me and one kid. We just stare at each other for 45 minutes, and I'll say to him like, "Do you want to take out a notebook today?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good, fuck." And I'm like, "All right." And then I'm like, okay, well, then I'll just teach you real quick. So then I teach him for like 3 minutes, but he doesn't take out a book. And then the whole lesson's over. And then we just stare at each other. And then he's like, everybody in this room sucks. And then I look around the room because it's just me and him. And I'm like, me? And he's like, he looks around too. And then he's like, everybody in this room my, and I'm like,
What? Everyone in this room can
can
eat my
perform
carrots.
fellatio to me,
Perform
but
fillet him.
but pronounced very differently. So then I look around the room once again because it's just me and him.
This kid's
It's
like me
very,
tooing you in
yeah,
your
it's
own
very
classroom.
awkward. And then I tell him like, no, thank you. Like I'm married. I'm not interested. And that really makes them very angry. Um, but like we get, and then like for some strange reason, I went to the gym once, right?
Are you doing bits on me?
No, no, this is, I mean, I can turn this into a bit, but I'm just talking to you. But I went to the gym once. The school made me a dean. Now a dean for the rest of this, the rest of the world, the country doesn't say dean like we do in New York. A dean's like a security guard or like
Oh.
a person of like, force where
Yeah, when
you
you
would be
texted me the
like,
other
oh,
day and you said you were dean, I thought you were like principal.
no, no, they would never let me principal. A dean means like I'm security, but like not like a security guard, I kind of walk around and I'm supposed to be like a scary presence, but I'm not. I'm average height at best. And I walk around to like all the bad kids and I just try to talk them off ledges. And by ledges, I mean fist in each
Yeah.
other's faces. And
Yeah.
that's what I do for fun all day.
And you like it?
I mean, there's some perks. Like a few days ago, I was going to remove a kid because he snuck into another room,
Uh-huh.
and Method Man was in the room.
Oh,
The
yeah.
rapper.
What the hell? You posted a picture with Method Man.
Yeah, so it turns out that Method Man was in my school. Now I didn't know because that day I happened to dress like a leprechaun because it was St. Patrick's Day. So I was dressed head to toe in a green, what's the little leaf shirt? Four leaf clovers.
The little
I was
leaf.
dressed in
Yeah.
a four leaf clover suit. So I walked in to remove the kid, and Method Man was there. So I was like, oh shoot. So he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. He's like, oh shit. So I'm like, I was trying to look like the off-brand Lucky Charms today. And like he laughed, and then we laughed, and he was in all red. I was in all green. So I was like, yo, we look like a Christmas card. Let's take a picture together. So we took a picture, but I was like, hey, do me a favor. Let's shake hands in the picture so it looks like we are about to sign a major album deal. And he was like, yeah, I'm down for that. So, like there's cool perks like that. Kids bring like, weapons. I get to confiscate them.
Oh my God. It's
Uh,
literally what's the movie? What's
oh,
the movie?
one of those, save the world
No, it's
movies
like
for
it is
teachers.
the Save the World movie though.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Stand By Me, Danger. No, not Stand By Me,
Dangerous
Dangerous
Lives.
Lives.
Dangerous
Yeah,
Lives. Okay, didn't one of your students when you were in that leprechaun costume tell you that you looked like you had bought a Riddler costume on
on Wish.
Wish?
On Wish. She
That was
said,
that's a
listen,
that's a good burn.
you know what? That was great. I actually appreciated that. They tell me I look like a lot of things on Wish,
What
which
else?
is because once in a while, so for Abe Lincoln's birthday, I dress like Abe Lincoln. So I start growing my beard out in November. Then I wait till February 11th, his birthday eve, and then I shave my mustache off and I go to work fully dressed like Lincoln. But the kids tell me I look like the Wish version of Lincoln.
You got a real thing for Abe Lincoln. And didn't you do like an Abe Lincoln impersonation on Ellen a couple years ago?
Well, all right. So you want the backstory to
Oh,
this?
absolutely. I remember
All
you
right.
and I were texting about it. I just remembered this.
Okay. So, all right. So long story short, I'm a fan of Abe Lincoln. Now, not because like
No,
not I
you're
don't
not
have
a
some Abe.
fan. You're like
Well,
obsessed. You have Abe
I don't have
Lincoln
like
tattoos.
I don't have like an Abe Lincoln fetish. But so what happened was,
But also the jury's out.
well, let the people decide. But all I'm saying is, I used to have pictures of Abe Lincoln around my classroom because I teach history. The kids used to take pictures of Abe holding his wife, and they used to cut his wife's face out and put my face on it.
Oh, poor
And
Mary Todd.
yeah, I would like to believe I'm better looking than Mary Todd, and that's not me being cocky. That's
Yeah,
Mary Todd being
Mary Todd.
Mary Todd, built like a
Also, a
table.
name
I mean, she is, and I
Mary
think she's a
Todd. I need there to be a drag queen named Mary Todd. Like that's it. Like welcome to
there's
the
out there is
stage,
one out
Mary
there. I'm sure.
Todd Lincoln. That'd be so
She
good.
was a handsome woman, and Mary. No, I'm not just. I'm being truthful here. I liked Mary Todd as a person. Um,
Mary Todd's son had died, and she.
Mary Todd had an incredibly hard life, so it was understandable why she was so messed up. But anyway, so they used to cut Lincoln's wife's face out and put my face on it and have pictures of me holding Lincoln holding me, which I thought was nice. And then one day, so I used to tell the kids on the first day of school, I used to try to make things real weird, real quick. So on day one, I tell them, I go, hey guys, over the summer, I went to Lincoln's house in Kentucky, which is true. And I drank from a well that was outside Lincoln's house. So I leaned into the well and I drank the water in the well. And there was a big sign that said, warning, do not drink water in well. Well is contaminated. So I then now that part's real, but then I tell the kids, I tell them that part, and then I look them dead in the eye and I tell them, guys, at that moment, Abe Lincoln came inside me.
You didn't say this.
And then I stare at them because all I'm saying is his spirit came inside me. Then I tell them that that's completely up to interpretation. I'm talking about a spirit entering the body. Now, the kids, they don't think that, but that's on them. I don't say that. So they all look at each other like, what the, because this is
Did
day
you know?
one.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Hold
Why,
on.
there's questions to this story?
Yes, calm the fuck down. I can't handle this.
Are we gonna
First,
have to cut this?
no, we're not gonna have to cut this out. This is gold. One, before we go any further, did you know what you were doing, or was this like a mistake that you then realized was a mistake? Or did you
Well,
know what
it
you were
was a
doing?
mistake. It was mistake period one, but then periods two, three, four, and five, it was purely intentional.
Great.
Because I like on day one where they're like, this guy thinks that Abe Lincoln came to him. Like, but it's more of because then I tell them that I embody him and I carry his children. I don't say the carry his children part.
Oh shit, I just dumped my water. I just
So
oh shit, I'm like laughing so hard. I literally just dumped my water all over me. It looks like Abe Lincoln came inside of me.
I was
Anyway.
going to say that could be my tactic for next
Thank you,
year. Go with
Blake.
my pants.
Thank you,
So
Blake. Yeah. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay. So you didn't know what you were doing, but then you did and you kept it up. I'll let you
yeah, I
continue.
kept it up because I liked when like kids were looking at each other like, what's he
That's
saying? Because they don't want to outwardly like now if I said it midway through the year, they'd be like, you're fucking weird. But on day one, you don't want to piss the teacher off.
oh, my
And
face hurts.
so I that's what I said after Abe. So so all right, so where are we in this story?
I
Okay,
don't
so I
even
tell
know.
the kids, Abe came at me, right? So now we're done with that. So now the kids right away, so they're cutting out the pictures of his wife. It's this whole big thing. So one day there's a magazine on the table of Abe Lincoln's face. So I take the magazine and I put it on me, and I'm like, guys, how funny would it be if I got a tattoo of Abe Lincoln on me? So like Jaquan, he's like, I bet you $500 you wouldn't do it. Another kid's like, I bet you 1,000. Joe's like, I bet you 800. Everyone's yelling numbers. So I take out a piece of paper and I write it down. Joe, 500. Jaquan, 1,000. Put the paper away. Don't think about it. A few weeks go by. It's President's Day. I'm celebrating, whatever we do for, I don't know, you buy a car, right? I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah, you buy cars.
I don't know what people celebrate President's
It's
Day.
so funny because you're just talking to me and it's so true. It's like whatever the fuck they do on President's Day. Buy a car.
furniture.
Yeah.
Buy a new couch. So I'm got my couch in my new car. I'm driving home and I'm like, you know what else I should do? I should get this freaking tattoo. So I go in, I get the tattoo. I come back, I get the tattoo. I come back to school. I was like, hey, Jay, you have $1,000 on you? He's like, huh? I'm like, you got $500 on you? I take out the list. I read all the names. The kids are like, what are you saying? I was like, Dan, 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 dan. I stand up on the desk. I whip out Abe Lincoln. Should I show it now? Because this is for YouTube too.
Yeah, you can show. Yeah, definitely show us. Show us.
I will show it. I actually do this. I tell this story when I go for interviews at jobs. I take my pants off too.
Oh my God. Wait, it's on your leg?
It's on my leg. There he is.
Oh my God. Does he have eyeballs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
He's just
Blake,
inside.
doesn't it kind of look like he's got like no eyes?
Yeah, if you get the closer you get.
Oh, it's
the more...
like it's like really Abe Lincoln. Like you would not mistake it.
Oh no, I haven't.
Gaspar, that's a big tattoo. That was a commitment.
I have him on me tattooed 3 times.
And you were gonna sit here and tell me that you weren't obsessed with Abe Lincoln?
No, well, because the other 2 are stupid. So
wait.
As opposed to this one, that's not stupid.
So so when you were doing this deal with the kids, but that's your first Abe Lincoln tattoo?
So yeah, so that tattoo was just a joke. That was just for the kids. So I was like,
what a thing to just fuck around and just get on your body.
Yeah, so the kids were like doing backflips and shit. They were like, no way. So I was like, all right, give me the money. So then I was like, nah, I was like, listen, you just learned a valuable lesson. Don't make bets with someone who might be crazy, and don't make bets with money you don't have. And because if I was a gambling man, I'd be breaking legs, right? But I'm not going to do that. But now what happens is, this is 10 years old. I'll be walking through the mall. Guys will come running up to me. They'll have kids of their own. They're married. They're like, babe, this is the guy I was telling you about, my old teacher. Yo, mister, take off your pants. Please show her. I'm like, whoa, hey, oh. Because then that's how, rumors start. But like, But then I got another Abe Lincoln tattoo for my son as a joke because when my son was born,
And his name is Abe Lincoln, and your daughter is Mary
no,
Todd
it's
Lincoln.
Tad after Abe's son, Tad.
Say swear to
No,
God.
I'm just kidding. My son's name is Gaspar. I'm
Gaspar. Oh yeah,
Italian.
yeah, I knew that. I knew that.
Everybody's named Gaspar in my family.
Everybody.
You have
But
to
what
be
if you had
named
another son?
Gaspar.
Shut up. No, you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Okay.
But we're done. I'm done with kids. So a few days ago, I was driving my daughter to school right before school. This is way off track, but that doesn't
I
matter.
love
This
it.
is why I'm done with kids. My daughter, she's 1. I trusted her like an idiot. She goes, Dad, I want to eat a cheese stick. I go, okay. She's eating a cheese stick. It's 6:45 in the morning. We get in the car. We're driving. I go, let me get the cheese stick, baby. She goes, no, I eat. I go, okay, I'll just watch you. So now I'm driving, watching her like a hawk so she doesn't choke. All of a sudden, naturally, she's like,
Oh no.
the kindergarten throw up sound when the kids move all the desk and
Yeah.
puke in the fucking
Yeah.
flower pot. And she starts making that noise. So now I'm freaking out. There's this freaking woman standing on the curb.
Yeah.
She thought I was an Uber. So I pull the car over to save my daughter's life. I unbuckle, I jump in the back seat, I make my finger into a fish hook. I rescue my
Oh,
daughter.
you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that.
No, you don't give a kid a mozzarella stick in the morning.
That
And
either. But you also are not supposed to fish hook them. You don't know that?
No. I saved her life.
Okay.
So I take the mozzarella out, but the woman that was standing there thought that I was the Uber.
And got in your car?
She started walking to the car. So now I turned to her. I'm like, I had throw up all over me because my daughter puked. Now I'm covered in mozzarella throw up, which is like the worst kind because it's like that. It's it's everything. I don't want to make you nauseous. So now Uber lady's trying to get in. It's drizzling. She's trying to get the quick ride. I'm like, no. I'm yelling at her. My son's like, Dad, Lucy threw up, as if I wasn't covered in mozzarella puke, you know? So so that's why I'm not having any more kids. Also, like they finally sleep through the night, so I'm good.
Literally. Okay. First of all, I can't wait to have kids because I want stories like this, unfortunately. But literally, little kids and puke is the craziest thing ever. I have 2 stories for you. One, this wasn't even when I taught kindergarten. This was when I was teaching 4th grade. I'm teaching 4th grade. And I used to play this game at the end of the day where the kids would, I'd pick their sticks because in elementary school, you're nothing if you don't have a cup with their sticks with names on it.
Oh.
Right? So
we have knives.
Yeah. Okay, you pick a stick, and I would pick a stick, and if I picked your name at the end of the day, because the end of the day is a shit show, because they're all trying to get ready to leave. It's when the most bullshit will happen. Trouble will always find itself at that period of the day. So you got to do something to keep them together. The screen, unfortunately, is your friend because they're going to get sucked into a screen like a zombie, right? So I pick a stick while they're all getting ready, and if I pick your stick, you say any animal. And then I type that animal into YouTube, and then we just watch videos about that animal, right? So I picked a stick, and this kid was being a smartass, and he said sushi, which we know is not an animal. And I wasn't going to fight it, so I just typed in sushi, right? And it's sushi, just videos of sushi, video of sushi. Next thing you know, it's like the streets of Japan, and these people go up to the stand, and they buy live octopuses that are wrapped around 2 chopsticks, and they just stick them in their mouth whole and eat them, and the tentacles are just going all over the outside of their face while they're eating the octopus alive. And I have this one little girl, and she goes, "Oh, that's nasty. I think I'm going to be sick." And just like literal exorcist vomit. Like I'm talking, it looked like a solid pipe for like 3 feet before
Like
before it even bent. Just 3 feet of straight pipe vomit. Just go for it. And I go, please go to the office. You're sick. I'm like, oh, she's sick. She never told me she was sick. She got to the office. The secretary called me laughing because she goes, "I'm not sick. He's showing us videos of people eating fish alive." Great.
Why do
Great.
they always miss the garbage pail too? Like, why
Oh,
do
she
they?
didn't even attempt to go
No,
try
but like, even if you held the pail under her, she would have thrown up on your
over to
hand.
the side or my
She would have
face or
thrown up on
something.
your elbow,
Always,
where it
literally.
would have just.
I had another
Oh,
kid when I did teach kindergarten. He was like a habitual thrower upper because kindergartners are like puppies. Like, and anybody who's gonna hate on me for saying that, you can first of all shut the hell up because it's true. But they do the same things puppies do. My dog Mac is 4 months old. He eats too fast. He throws up. A good fourth of my class last year would eat too fast and throw up. One kid never learned his lesson, and it was like weekly. He would eat too fast and fucking throw up, and he would throw up and hide it. He would like throw up in the bookshelf and then put the books back.
oh.
And I would tell him so many times, like, this is not normal human behavior. Please stop. And he would still do it. He would throw up in his lunchbox, close it, then put it back where all the lunch boxes go. Whose
Was he
lunchbox is leaking
embarrassed?
today? Oh, it must be fucking Alfred's again. Yep,
Alfred would do that. And
he would.
Alfred.
Okay, I got another
Was
story
he
for you. Ready?
embarrassed or he just like puking in boxes?
I don't think either. I think he just
Oh,
like he thought no one was gonna find it again.
yeah. No, listen. To so I understand. I mean, for starters, really quick, just to kind of piggyback on something you said, I went to China for college, like all on a joke, and I on a dare. But I went to college in China and I ate a grasshopper alive. So that's real in Asia. Someone came up to me with a grasshopper thing. I don't know if it was a grasshopper on the street, and he told me to give him money, and I did. And then he gave me the grasshopper, and everybody around me just put it in their mouth. And he was trying to hop out, and it was fucking horrifying. And I was just trying to be cool because I was 18 in China, didn't know anything that was going on. And I'm sure there's follow up questions to that,
There's a
but
lot of follow-up questions. First, let's start here. Was it good?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was, when you just blank out a memory because you're just chewing so fast.
That
Well, I don't know if that's actually why anyone would blank out a memory, but I was just chewing quick because I was trying to stop it from doing anything.
wow.
It was freaky, and I shouldn't have been there.
And
And
everybody
looking,
around you did it too?
yeah, but everybody around
No
me was
soy
a lot.
sauce, no
No, it was
no
a lie.
seasoning, just
Everybody around me was a lot more Asian cultured.
uh-huh.
Unlike me, I was like stupid American boy
Right.
in China. Like I was looking back, I was 18. I'm thinking, why my parents allowed me to go to China at 18? It's because I was the third child. Had I been the first child, I would have never went. Third child, they were like, you'll be fine. And
I
I went.
when I was first applying for teaching jobs, it was at a time when like we weren't really getting jobs, right? How long have you been teaching, by the way?
Oh, this is my 10th
Oh
year.
yeah, we're the same age, right?
I'll be 33
Yeah,
in
yeah,
June.
me too. I'm going to be 33 next month. You
Yes.
I remember you and I had a conversation that like you made me feel like I'm a fuck up because like
No,
you're
no.
in New York living your life. You got a wife and two kids already. We're the same age, and I'm like I'm
But
messing up.
but keep in mind, everybody who's in my shoes is like, wow, that's the life because you're living the life. And then the people who are in the other side of that is like, it's you want what you don't have. You know what I
How
mean?
long
That's
have you been
normal.
married?
Too long. We got
Shut up. Your wife's awesome. Shut up.
now she's cool, but she doesn't like me. But other than that, she's very cool to other people. Um, we've been married since 2015, so this will be 7 years we've been married, which is crazy.
Wow.
And we've been together since I was a waiter at Applebee's, employee of the month, 11 straight months, not a
You
big deal.
shut the hell up. You were not.
11 straight months. And the only reason I didn't do one more, I didn't want to be employee of the year. I felt like that's not something to be proud of at Applebee's. So I quit. No, I became a teacher on the 12th month. So otherwise I would have. All you
You
had to do was get people to fill out a survey. So I would just sit at the table with them till they filled out the survey. And I would get all the surveys and then I would get movie tickets. I saw every movie that was out in
wait,
2015.
shut the hell up. For being employee of the month, you only get movie tickets?
No, 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 no. What happened was if someone filled out the survey, you got movie tickets. So
Oh,
what I would do, I had to deal with the hostess. I was single at the time. I had to deal with the hostess. I was like, hey, anyone in my age range, sit them at my tables and then let me let me be me. And I was going to work my magic to get the movie tickets. So then I would tell them, I'd be like, oh, hey, isn't there a movie that you'd like to see? Why don't we see it together? Let's fill out this survey together. And then we would go to the movies together. So it was like a mutual survey.
So wait, so that's how you went on dates with people?
I mean, that's not the only way,
Is
but
that
this
how
is
you met your
before.
wife? She fell for this
No,
movie ticket trap?
no, my she didn't fall for the movie ticket trap. She didn't like the movie game at all. She very much disapproved of that. Um, no, we met because she used to work for Child Protective Services,
Oh,
and
wow.
some of my students had run-ins with Child Protective Services. So she came to my classroom once to remove a kid, and I was like, I was brand new teacher. I was 21 years old. I was like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm with Child Protective Services." I'm like, "What's that?" I didn't even know what it was. So she's like, "I need to talk to this girl." So she took the girl out. The girl and her left. I was like, "Well, that girl's gone." I thought she was kidnapped. But so the girl comes back. So I was like, "Yo, who was that lady?" And she's like, "Why?" She's like, "You like her?" I was like, "I don't know, whatever." So I was like, "Oh, I guess she's cute." So the girl goes back and
Oh, shut
tells
up.
my wife, at the time, it's just stranger. She's like, "Oh, Mr. G," that's what they called me, Mr. G. She's like, "Mr. G thinks you're cute." So the girl told my wife that. So the girl came back and was like, "Oh, she thinks you're cute too." So I saw her outside later, and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Listen." I was like, "I'm just letting you know the kids are all telling me that you think I'm cute. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't want to confirm or deny it, but I'm just telling you what they said." And she's like, "Well, they said you said it." So I was like, "I didn't say it, but okay." So then fast forward, it was an ongoing case. She came back again. So I told her, I was like, "Yo, listen, I told the kids that we went camping this weekend, just go with the story because they all think that we like each other." So she went with the story. So then the following week, she came back again. So I was like, "Hey, listen, she was going to school for her master's. I was an idiot. I thought she was going for her doctorate, which made I thought she was becoming a doctor. So I was like, "Yo, I have really bad, something's wrong with my eye." I was like, "I have to go to a doctor later. Do you want me to tell you what they said? Because I know you're a doctor as well." And she's like, "I'm not." So I was like, "Let me tell you what they said. And just in case, let me get your number and I'll text you later to let you know what the doctor said." And she's like, "I don't care." And I was like, "All right, let me just text you anyway." So I did. And I told her that I had an allergy. And she was like, "I don't care." And then I was like, "All right." And then I was like, "You want to hang out this weekend? So it's not a lie if we tell the kids we hung out?" She's like, "I guess." And now here we are.
You're
7 years
shitting.
later,
Wait,
two kids.
you are shitting me.
No, that's how we met.
This is a fucking movie. This is great.
No,
This is fantastic. This
but
is so
then, but
good.
but then you know what? So we've had a rough marriage. My wife, not to get sad or whatever, but one day, I know you have a lot of female listeners. This is it's a heartwarming story. So one day she woke up. We were trying to get pregnant. So the trying to get pregnant part's a lot of fun, like the practice,
Right.
right? But she couldn't get pregnant because one day she woke up, her stomach was huge. So we're like, "What the fuck? Like, did you go from 0 to 9 months pregnant? Like, what's happening?" So we go to the hospital. She was bleeding internally.
Oh,
So her stomach filled up
no.
with blood. It was sad. She had to remove all her insides. That part was sad. So not that I'm making a joke of this, but I'm gonna.
Is she
So
also going to kill you for putting this on the
no,
podcast?
no, no. She has a business as well, and her business, a lot of it has to do with this. So it's
Okay, okay,
okay.
okay.
She has a jewelry business, True Warrior Jewelry, just
All right.
quick little plug.
All right.
So
Plug it,
but
plug it.
anyway, so we go to the doctor. We ended up, long story short, we ended up having to do IVF.
Yeah.
IVF is in vitro fertilization. It's like an easy bake oven. You take a little, stick it in the thing, boom, 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 bam. It's like Build-A-Bear, right? So they take a little of me, a little of her. I had to go in the room. I had to do my thing. There was a dingy little couch. I wasn't sitting on
Ooh.
the couch. Hell no.
No.
And then I was done quick because who knows me better than me. So, but I didn't want to come out too quickly because the nurse was waiting outside. I didn't want her to think I was like,
This fucking
that's
guy.
irrelevant to the
This is the
story.
first time. Is this how you tell this story when you tell this story?
No, I'm just telling you. Now we're just two friends talking. So whatever. We do the whole thing. I mean, there's a lot. I can't say all of it right now. I'll tell you
Okay.
after.
Okay.
But so anyway, so she got pregnant. So a few months go by. It's 6 months in. it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was a snowstorm, so
Hmm.
they canceled school. So I go, babe, do me a favor, don't give birth tomorrow during the snowstorm because I want to enjoy our last snowstorm together. She's 6 months pregnant this time. I'm joking. I didn't think anything of it. All of a sudden, at like 3 in the morning, she wakes up. She's like, this is when we loved each other. So like we woke up at 3 in the morning. I thought we were gonna like watch the snow fall and hold hands, right? So she's like, babe, I just wet the bed. That's so weird. I'm like,
Oh
you
no.
peed yourself? I'm like, what? She gets up, her water broke. It
Oh
was
no.
like, Joe, it was like a
Wait,
movie.
isn't that too early?
Too early. The baby's supposed to be cooking in the easy bake oven for 9 months.
Yes, listen. I don't. Here's something. Pause. Just quick pause. Do not forget where you're at. I don't know nothing about birth and no babies. Like
Yeah,
literally,
well,
I don't know anything about women and their parts and how they
you know,
work and none of this.
yeah. So at 6 months, that's like the danger zone. You don't want to be there.
Oh
So
no.
when I said jokingly to her, don't give birth, like we didn't think anything of it. It was a
Right.
normal
Oh
pregnancy.
shit. Okay.
So
Okay.
So now wait, listen to this. So her water breaks everywhere. So she's crying, screaming, my water. So I didn't know what to do. I took a hamper, I dumped all the clothes out, and I said, stand on top of the clothes because we don't need a baby and a flood because I didn't want her to flood the basement. So now she's standing on the clothes, she's crying. I'm freaking out. So she's like, we didn't even pack a to-go bag. I didn't know what the hell a to-go bag was. So she said, pack me clothes. I took a Trader Joe's bag because that's practical because it can hold a lot. And she said, just get. So I took one, like an idiot, because I wasn't thinking. I took one drawer. It was her underwear drawer. I dumped the whole drawer into a Trader Joe's bag. We were in the hospital with just 400 pairs of underwear
Mm.
and no additional clothing. So the baby comes out 3 months early. The baby had to be in the
Oh
NICU.
no,
My
no.
son was so tiny when he was born. My wedding ring fit up his arm to his shoulder.
Oh my
Like he was
God.
real little. Like when he was born, he didn't even have testicles yet. We watched them grow. One night they were just like, boop, they just popped out in a little.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. And it's only cool because thank God he's okay. He's strong. He's healthy.
So everything worked out? Like
Yeah, but
we're
he was in the NICU in the hospital for 2 months.
oh
So
my
it sucked. It
God.
was horrible.
Holy
And that's
shit.
and so I was dropping my wife off in the morning. I would
Yeah.
go spend an hour at the hospital. Then I would go to work. Then I would go to work all day. Then I would leave, go back to the hospital, we'd stay all night. Then we'd go out for dinner, go back, and then they'd kick us out. And we'd do it all over again every
Yeah.
day for 2 months.
Oh my
But
God.
my students, they knew. So this is like to go on that bad kids thing. My students knew I was going through all this because I tell them everything. So one day, these girls, she's like, yo, mister, we got you a gift. So she hands me a gift bag. So I was like, oh shit. So I opened the card and it's like, dear Mr. Randazzo. They don't even know my name. It's Randazzo. Dear Mr. Randazzo, you'll be a good dad, I guess. I was like, oh, okay, I can live with that, I guess. So I'm like, all right. So I open it up. There's blankets in there. It was very sweet, right? So naturally, I'm a human being. I start tearing up because I'm like, this is emotional. My kid's in the hospital. They gave me a gift. This girl, she goes, he looked like he about to cry. If you cry, you a bitch. If you cry, you a bitch. And then they all in unison were like, he about to cry. Fuck you. Like screaming. So I was like, fuck you guys. I cried in the corner. I was like, I hate you guys. Then I tried to return the gifts because they were not
Stolen?
like they were just not great. Nothing we would have needed. We go to return it. The lady's ringing it up at Carter's, the baby store. She's like, sir, this was never purchased. I was like, well, then I'm just going to put it back on the
Oh.
shelf for you because it was stolen. But it's the thought that counts. And they stole from me because they loved me. But
But
yeah,
you're busy. Hey,
so
this is all 100% true. Like none of these
yeah,
details were fabricated. This is all
nothing is
100% true.
fabricated. This is real life. And that's the shortened version. It's a lot crazier what really all happened. But yeah, it's yeah, and then like my second kid, my wife died in childbirth in giving birth. So
And they
like
had to
then
bring
I
her
had to
back?
revive her. What?
And they brought your wife back?
At 3 in the morning is when all the parties happened. So at 3, after she gave birth, she died a few hours later. So she died. Well, she was like looking at me. She's like, babe, she was really white.
Wait, shut
And
the
my
fuck up, Gasper. This is not a joke. This is all for
no,
real.
this is real. This is real life, but it's okay. She's alive now. I would say she's well, but she's not. Not to me, not to me. But she died. So she's like, babe, something's not right. So I was like, oh, hold on. And then she turned white and she fainted. So I
No.
ran out, got the nurses. Then my daughter at the time, she had like something like she had like a acid reflux. So she's like like, like the mozzarella stick
Oh,
again. So
fuck.
she's like 10 minutes old. My wife's dying. My daughter's choking. So I had to pick one. I just met my daughter. I know my wife a long time, but my daughter seemed to like me more. So I was like, let me help her. So I'm saving my daughter. I'm giving her the little back
No,
pats.
this is not real. You're
Yeah, I
fucking
swear
with
to
me.
God, this is all real. I'll wake my wife up right now, but she doesn't like when I talk to her after 8 o'clock at night. So let me not.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
I get my daughter, I save her. The nurses come in, they did something. My wife had lost a lot of blood. They had to give her this shot that woke her right up, which was
No shit.
like it was like that movie Crank.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
they did that to her, which was really cool to watch, but scary. And so I was like, hello, I'm here too. What do I do with this baby? Because like the baby's choking on freaking phlegm.
Right.
So I'm fish hooking her again. It all comes back to the hook. And so we are not ever having kids again because we had two really traumatic experiences. But thank God we have two very good, healthy kids.
Oh my God.
So it's all good. I
Wait,
swear.
no. First of all, don't talk anymore. Second of all, Blake has been through a lot of podcasts with me. How the fuck did he just tell me that crazy ass story? Like, and it was funny? Like, I'm
No,
laughing and it was like horrible.
no, listen, because life, you can laugh and
Literally,
I'm a
this
big
is you.
believer. Like,
This is you.
you
This is
know,
you. That's your brand. That's your brand. That's your brand. Because, okay, I'm not, okay, first of all, I don't even know what to say.
I know. Okay.
I'm not trying to dismiss all of that because that was amazing. And also you're an incredible storyteller and you're very funny, but this is the same as why you've been making me laugh so hard this week because your videos this week, Gaspare, your videos this week. Okay. At first when I was texting you, I thought he's going to think I'm lying because I was laughing so hard. And then I realized I was texting you about the videos you were making. Okay, wait, shit, ADHD again. The videos that he's making are about his classroom. That you guys got to go watch them on Instagram. They're so fucking funny. And how his classroom is basically a fucking dumpster fire of shit that doesn't work. But I'm watching these videos and I'm everything you would go from like a chair that's broken that doesn't work to a window that's broken as fuck to a plug that sparks to a literal hole in the ground that you can see the classroom being taught underneath you, and then you do it in this like soft voice that's so compassionate. I was laughing so fucking hard that I liked all of the videos. I commented on the videos how hard I was laughing. I think I commented again that I was still laughing. Then I went through and I was reading the comments, and the comments were even funnier. So then I'm commenting on the comments, and then I'm texting you about how hard I'm laughing, and then I come to and I was like, he's going to think I'm lying because I'm so overly laughing at this shit. And I
Nah,
wasn't. I was fucking rolling, dude. But it's the
thank
same thing.
you.
You took this horrible thing and you made it so fucking funny.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I can find humor in pretty much like, like even my wife dying, like when I tell the story, she gets mad at me. She's like if I tell people, I'm like, she died last week. She's like, why do you say it like that? Or I gave her a present on when she this, when on the because she died that night. Like my daughter was born March 10th. My wife technically died March 11th.
Yeah.
But so like I was like jokingly, I was like, happy rebirth. And she's like, that's not funny. Like it was really traumatic. I'm like, whatever. And like even like my father bought her after all this happened, he bought her a blanket from Survivor. You ever watch Survivor?
Oh my, yes.
Because my wife always says like I could be on Survivor. I think I can. My wife can't even go in my backyard, and my backyard's just cement. Okay, so she's like I could be on Survivor. So when she was getting wheeled out after she died, like she was saying to the nurses, she's like, I don't want to die. I want to see the season finale of Survivor.
No.
She was mumbling it. So we were all laughing. So my dad got her a blanket that says like the Randazzo tribe when she
Oh my
came home,
God.
to like celebrate her birth.
I'm gonna meet her, right? She's coming to at least one of the shows.
Yeah, she'll come to. So I told her, I was like, I don't want you to come to all of them because like I want to enjoy them.
That's funny. Okay. Love your wife. Got to talk about your classroom. Is that shit real? Is your classroom really
Okay,
that
so
in
people
disarray?
constantly comment. Number one, the funniest comment that had me dying that I sent you was,
Oh, I got to
"Oh,
go through some of the comments with
I
you.
just ended up on Prison Talk." That had me dying. So the thing is, like, for those of you who didn't see the videos, New York City
I
classrooms
didn't
have
see.
bars on the windows. It's not a prison thing. It's the so kids don't jump out the window thing. I thought that was standard.
Someone said
Also,
I just prison talk. Somebody's dude, did you go through the comments? The comments
yeah,
are
I was dying. I love them.
amazing. The comments are amazing.
On TikTok, people were trying to send me money, and I don't want nobody's money because I'm not going to do anything in that classroom with the money, and then I'd feel guilty buying like mozzarella sticks for my kids. So, yeah, so people like were very confused because first off, people didn't think it was real. I was
Yes.
like, how could I stage that? There's a legit hole in the floor in my room. Like, do you think I drilled a hole in the floor? Um, that the air conditioner not working. Like I put the air conditioner on, just blew hot air out, and then it just stopped working. I didn't plan that. I was just filming, and the air conditioner stopped working. My window doesn't go up on its own, so people are like, did you push the window down? You watched it. I pushed the window up. The window falls
I
back
know, I
down.
know. That was crazy. You
So we
pushed it
put a
up with a
textbook.
book.
Yeah, we lodged the book in there to keep it up. And then like the video I filmed today that I sent you with the rope. So like
Oh
my
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 God.
drawers.
This one, that one sent me that one set me off. Because
The
that one I was like,
drawer.
no. And then when there was the hole, bitch, I fucking couldn't handle it. Okay,
So
keep
like
going.
people are
Tell
like,
them.
your drawer doesn't only have ropes to hold it. I'm like, no, it does. Like I didn't unscrew the knobs to replace it with a rope. And like the poster on the wall, that poster, I had a poster on my wall. It deteriorated over time, but at one point it said something motivational, but you can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
So I leave that to motivate the kids to never want to do that,
Well, okay,
whatever that is.
this comment, this one, I like had to put my phone down because I was convulsing laughing so hard. This woman said, "Wow, stunning. Assuming you get all of your classroom ideas from Pinterest."
Yeah.
That one would kill me.
So you know what inspired this video? All these people on TikTok and Instagram, it's so fake. A lot of it's all
Oh,
fake.
that's why I love the video. That's why,
And
because
all it is,
it was actually
and I
just really
get it,
good
like,
social commentary. Is what it
yeah, like
was.
it's just people holding like a freaking Christmas ball. What's a Christmas? The ornaments. So it's just someone holding a Christmas ornament, and then they throw it in their class, and a grenade noise
Yeah,
sounds, and
and
then
then
the class is
oh,
a
it's
fucking winter
amazing.
wonderland. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Mercy the Snowman's not sitting in my
Thank you,
classroom.
thank
And I
you.
don't want him there. I'm there to teach, not talk about freaking Rudolph. So it's very different in high school. So like, and I get it. If I taught elementary, like my son's school, they got like a little, ice cream center where they go in and they pretend that they're ice cream men. That's cool. But I teach high school. We talk about Hitler. I don't need to be talking about Hitler while looking at Frosty. You know what I mean? So that's what, and then I started thinking about it. I was like, I couldn't even do that if I tried because look at my classroom. And then I was like, let me film. And then when I added that ASPCA music
Oh
in the
no.
background,
But it's
the,
also it's not the same music, right?
no,
No,
it's just a sorrowful
listen, I
song
don't know
that
what I don't know what it is, but the song that you found for it that you have in the background mixed with this you change. You do this like soft voice where you're like talking so like very soft and like careful.
well,
It
like
sends
what's
me
funny is like
out.
anyone who knows me is like,
It's
I
not
don't think I've
real. Yeah.
ever heard you talk in a voice like that. But remember, I even said to you, I go, that's the only time I've ever had to act on social media because talking, this is how I normally talk. I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night right now. I've been up since like 5:30. There's no naps with kids. Like this is me all day that's why at nighttime, if I wake up and my wife's up, she avoids eye contact with me because she knows if we make eye contact, I'm talking. Doesn't matter what time it is.
Is she a New
So
Yorker?
yeah, she is, but she's not like me. We're very
You're
different.
quintessential.
No, not even that, but like I'll go to like the deli and get like a bacon, egg, and cheese, Like my wife, like she's like gluten free and stuff.
What do you guys call those tiny grocery stores?
Bodegas.
Yeah, and they always have like a cat.
Always. There's always a cat sitting on a loaf of bread.
And it
And,
like and it like does the person behind the counter take care of that cat?
well, the cat's like the assistant manager in the store. And
Okay.
like he runs the day-to-day operations. He hisses at you. And then like the guy behind the counter, he usually sucks. He's usually always on his phone and he's always watching YouTube on a device.
Uh-huh.
And you're always inconveniencing him when you go to buy something.
Oh,
Like
wonderful.
you're waiting, you're like, hi, I just want to purchase it. And he's like, oh, puppy, hold on. I'm on a call. And then you just have to stand there while he's on the call,
Shut up.
like a
Someone people
jackass.
that's for real? They would tell
Yeah,
you?
yeah, that's he goes, oh, hey, hey, I'm on the phone. And then you wait, and then he holds up a finger like $1, whatever, $2. Then you give it to him. He just throws change back at you, and you leave, and that's it. It's a quick exchange,
Are
but
you
a lot of
serious?
times,
I would be like, see, like from Michigan, I would be like, you will not get my business, sir. Like
yeah, I
walk
mean,
away.
you
And he'd be
can,
like, great.
yeah, I mean, sure, you don't have to give him your business. Someone else will.
Listen,
They
I
don't care.
can't wait to get to New York because there's no good bagels here, first of all. Fucking
Well,
obsessed with a New York bagel. Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah,
You don't have any comments about bagels, bitch?
yeah. So, so it depends. So I eat flagels now in my older age. I'm getting a little. I'm trying to. My body's changing a little now that I'm a security dean.
No. Well, that's going
Um,
to be some bullshit because when we are done with the shows, we are going to eat. And I'm talking like eat,
yeah,
eat.
that no, that's fine. That's fine. But so I've been eating these things called flagels. They gut out the bagel
Uh
and
huh.
they flatten it. It's delicious still, but it's just a little easier on my stomach. I don't got to eat
That's
as many
that
tums.
sounds terrible.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but I eat them my whole life. Every day in high school for 4 straight years. Do the math, 180 days times four.
So
What is
that
that?
so you're like over it? Like bagels are like no big deal to you?
Yeah, I mean, I ate a bagel with cream cheese, sesame bagel with cream cheese toasted every single day of high school for 4 straight years. So
Yeah.
like, and I still eat them like on the weekends. I go, my kids eat them. My son eats a bagel every day for breakfast. He eats a giant bagel. My daughter eats them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
like,
kind of
we
get it.
eat them, but like in my house, it's not like you think. You know what I mean? Like we're not coming to New York. That's like we don't eat pizza every day. I mean, we eat pasta because we're Italian, but we don't eat pizza every day.
Is your wife Italian too?
No, she's a mutt. She doesn't know what she is. She's
It
just
happens.
as a person.
She's a child protective services worker.
Yeah, well, no, she's not that anymore. Now she's a
Now
school
she's a
social
jewelry. Yeah.
worker.
She's still a school social worker and doing the
Yeah,
jewelry thing?
she's a school social worker day, and then she owns the business.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's really cool. That's
so
awesome.
we're busy. Yeah, it's good.
That's so fucking
Uh,
cool. Okay, wait, before we go, where do you have any places in mind that we're gonna go eat? Cause bitch, we're everyone, just so you know, we're recording this episode like literally almost 2 months before the New York show, and I'm already hungry. Like when
yeah,
I
I
when I
mean,
come to New York, Gasper, like I do not play.
so did you ever go to Cat's Deli?
No, we're going next. What else?
Okay. So there's Cat's Deli. That's like a famous like deli. We could do, I mean, there's pizzerias everywhere that are good, that what's funny? Like, believe it or not, all right, so like if you live in New York, I
Hmm.
don't live in Manhattan. I hate nobody likes Manhattan anymore.
Where do you
So
live?
I live in Staten Island now, but to be fair, I'm from Brooklyn, but I live in Staten Island
Okay,
now.
yeah, to say
Staten
this.
Island, which is now famous for, Kim Kardashian
Yeah,
visiting with Pete Davidson and the Jersey Shore crew. But Staten Island has, like, I know good places on Staten Island. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really know Manhattan anymore. Manhattan changed. COVID changed
got it.
everything in Manhattan.
Got it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out
Manhattan
together.
shut down. But like, if we went to like Spumoni Gardens in Brooklyn, it's like the best pizza you will ever eat in your life.
Then
And
that
like,
then
I'm going to
that's
drive to the
over.
show. So we'll just drive there. It's not a big deal after. It doesn't
Game
matter.
over,
And
motherfucker.
then like there's a place called Roller Roaster. They make like the best roast beef and cheese sandwich. So like we'll go there. That's in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Like it's good,
Game
but
over. I'm like
yeah.
salivating. This is
Yeah, like I
ridiculous.
like to eat. I eat disgusting. Like I had meatloaf for breakfast at work today, right? And everybody was grossed out at the table. I don't give two shits.
Me
I'm
either.
hungry, I'm eating. It was
Me
7:30. I had
either.
a pound of meatloaf in my bag and I ate it. And then I had cake because we had cake from my son's birthday party. I brought it in, I put it on the table, and I ate cake. By 8 a.m., I had half a pound of meatloaf and cake. I don't care. I felt great. I carry Tums. I'm good to go.
What did I have today? I had a big ass piece of leftover steak and then
Mhm.
lemon cake. That's what I had for breakfast.
Yeah, so we have
But
very
I went to the
similar.
gym before both of that.
Yeah, I didn't go to the gym today because I don't go. But yeah. So
Okay, listen, everybody. Gaspare Randazzo is going to be on the show. It's me, Gaspar, Katie Hannigan, who you already heard on the podcast. So I'm talking, I don't even give a shit. If you're like near New York, try and get tickets. I don't know where we're at. I think at least a couple of them are sold out right now. But y'all should take a look and come because I'm telling you, I hand built this lineup and I wasn't fucking around. And this is going to be a good show. Pause what you're doing. Go follow Gaspar at Stand Up Randazzo on all of the things. What else you got going on? You got more shows you want to plug? Tell the people where to find you.
so I am on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Stand up, like, hey, stand up, or like stand up comedy, but like, yo, stand up. Randazzo, 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 stand up Randazzo. And that's it. So I got the show with you, and then I have some other stuff like kind of in the works, but nothing like officially yet. So I can't
Oh,
really say
I
anything.
can't wait to talk to you about that because I think I know what it is. Or do I have no idea?
You might. I don't know.
I
I
think I
don't.
know
I
what it
don't
is.
even fully know what it is. So probably not. But we'll talk about it after because
All
now I'm
right.
curious what you think it might be. But yeah. So and then you could just find me on there, and then I'm just there. Listen, my whole thing. If you're a teacher, my whole account is not a fluffy teacher
No,
account.
it's
I just try
perfect.
to
Oh
keep
my
it.
God, it's the best because it's real.
Yes, and I just try to like that's the number one thing. When I started this like account, people reach out to me from all over and they're like, "You make me feel like I'm not a piece of shit teacher because you make me feel like I'm not alone in like not wanting to grade essays on the weekend because like I don't
Yeah.
like when the bell rings is when my mental bell rings and I leave."
You guys listen. I gotta give this to you. I gotta give this to you. When I was in the classroom, I had walls up. I was posting stuff and posting funny stuff, but I still had walls up, right? About what I was gonna post and what I was gonna say and how I was gonna do that. Gasper's still in the classroom and his walls are fucking down. He's like going in. Like, I watch his shit and I'm like, true, true, true,
Thank you.
true, true. Even if you're not a teacher, follow him so you know the shit we go through.
Well, also, and what's the best part of it is like my administration. Like I'm always like, oh my God, like after I post those videos, like the hole in the ground, I was like, I'm gonna get fired, I'm gonna get fired, I'm gonna get fired. So I'm like walking and sweating. And then like you shared it on your page. So it got like 50,000 more. I'm like, oh my God, definitely more people. So I'm definitely getting fired now. But then like one of my administrators, I can't say who obviously,
Yeah.
came up to me and they're like, that shit was hysterical, but I cannot publicly acknowledge that it was funny because I will be in trouble. She's like, but it was really funny.
It
And
was
I will just say that and don't ever repeat that I said who said, but she was like, it's really funny.
it
But that's
was
the
oh
end
my
of
God,
it.
it was so
So
good.
it's like,
But also you've been pumping out gold. Like on
thank you.
top of that, like you did the one where you were being booked in prison for not
Oh,
understanding the teaching objectives. Like, fuck, it was just so good. Fuck
thank
it.
you.
We
I
could do this all
appreciate it.
day. Anyway, Gasper, um, we're gonna dip really quick, but stay on for just a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I cannot wait for New York. We're gonna have a bad ass
Yeah.
time. And we'll see you soon.
Yep. Thank you.